Welcome to the Deep Dive, the show where we really get into a stack of sources, pulling out the most, well, important and surprising bits of knowledge, all for you. And today, we've got something pretty special lined up, actually. It's a Friendship Day special brought to you by Asthma Friend.
Yeah, it really is. And it's all about connection today. We're focusing on something that's maybe often overlooked, but it's so powerful. It's the role friends play, in helping someone navigate life with asthma.
That makes sense, because living with asthma, it can feel quite isolating sometimes, can't it? Like you're always thinking about triggers, symptoms.
Absolutely. It's this constant internal thing. But having the right people around you, friends who genuinely get it, or at least try to, that can make a massive difference. It helps you feel seen, understood, and, well, just less alone on that path.
That feeling of isolation.
Uh,
That sounds tough. We tend to focus so much on the medical side, don't we? The inhalers, the action plans, the triggers.
right, the clinical stuff.
But our sources today really bring out the human side, the personal impact of having people who genuinely care. And our deep dive really captures this through Siddhant's personal story. His experiences, they weren't just about managing asthma. They were about how his friends became, well, more than just pals. They were genuinely part of his everyday asthma care, sort of quietly turning what could have been a lonely burden into something shared.
Exactly. And what Siddhant's story shows so well is this idea of, let's call it normalized vigilance. It's this kind of proactive, really empathetic support. It goes way beyond just, knowing someone has asthma.
Okay, normalized vigilance. What does that look like?
Well, he mentioned that his friends never treated him differently because of his asthma, but, and this is key, they absolutely treated his condition with the seriousness it needed. It's a subtle thing, right? They saw the challenge, but they didn't define him by it. That creates a space where he felt, safe, but also just himself.
And the examples he gives are so real. Like, back in his school days, his friends would just weave these little check-ins into their normal routine. Before sports day or a trip, someone would just casually ask, "You got your inhaler and medicines right?"
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't this big, awkward question. It wasn't nagging. It felt like part of their friendship, like they were just looking out for him. Almost second nature.
And that kind of consistent, gentle reminder, that shows a level of awareness that's just incredibly valuable. It normalizes the condition but keeps safety front and center. It subtly lifts that weight of constant self-monitoring off the person with asthma. It becomes this shared thing, almost unconscious, which lets the person relax a bit, feel truly cared for.
Right. And then, fast forward to college, Siddhant saw his friends stepping it up, actively shielding him from triggers. He talks about times when there was smoke or like a really strong smell near campus. Someone would immediately say, "Siddhant, mask up," or, "Hey, let's go this way instead." They were kind of scanning the environment for him.
That's fascinating, isn't it? That immediate recognition and just boom, taking action. It's not just knowing about a trigger in general, it's understanding his specific vulnerability and doing something about it proactively without him even having to ask.
Yeah.
That creates this profound sense of, well, psychological safety. It lets him lower his guard, knowing his friends are looking out, even if he hasn't spotted the danger yet.
Yeah, totally. And it wasn't just avoiding things passively. It was active protection, advocacy even. Siddhant shared some powerful stories like friends actually stopping other people from spraying deodorants in a closed room. That could trigger an attack so fast.
Oh, absolutely. A closed room scenario like that is high risk.
Or deciding together to skip rooftop plans because the air quality index, the AQI, was just awful. They put his health first in their group decisions, even if it meant changing what they might have wanted to do.
And that shift from just awareness to actual advocacy, that's huge. When friends step in like that, defending your health needs when maybe others don't get it or try to downplay it, that's critical. It sends such a strong message. We're with you. We've got your back. It validates your experience, fights off that awful feeling of being dismissed. Imagine the relief, right? Someone else is fighting that little battle, so you can just focus on managing your breathing.
These weren't just one-offs either. These small, regular actions, like Siddhant said, they spoke volumes. And honestly, it's clear they left this deep, lasting impact on how he sees friendship now. These moments weren't just helpful. They really shaped his sense of security, of belonging. Okay, so Siddhant's story really shows the impact. Let's try and unpack this a bit more. What are the bigger ideas here? Our sources seem to suggest support breaks down into two main types, right? There's the practical help and then the crucial emotional stuff. How do friends actually provide these things in the day-to-day reality of living with asthma?
Yeah, that's a good way to look at it. And often the support is quiet, it's consistent, it's just woven into how you interact. Practically, it's about making the management side easier, less of a chore. And emotionally, it's about, validating the whole experience, offering understanding, making it feel like a shared load, not a solitary one.
So on the practical side, it really does come back to that gentle reminder we talked about, that casual got your inhaler
Yeah.
before heading out. It can genuinely mean so much.
Exactly.
It's that little signal of care, of shared awareness, without making someone feel like a burden or different.
Yeah.
Gentle vigilance, like you said, reminding, not nagging.
Precisely. It respects their independence but still offers that safety net. And then there's thinking about the environment. Friends can be a huge help just by being mindful of specific triggers and maybe suggesting, hey, let's not go there tonight if it's known to be smoky or the pollution's bad, or avoiding places with strong perfumes or cleaning smells. It shows they really understand that even subtle things in the air can have a big impact.
And that mindfulness applies to physical stuff too, right?
Hmm.
Like offering to slow down on a walk or a hike if needed. For someone with asthma, keeping a comfy pace is really important to stop symptoms flaring up. Just saying, hey, let's ease up a bit can make a world of difference.
It shows they're willing to adapt, to put their friends' well-being first. It fosters inclusion, not making them feel left out, enables them to join in safely. And if you're the one hosting, creating safe spaces is massive. Our sources really stress how important it is for friends to think about triggers when people come over. Making sure the place is relatively dust-free, maybe skipping the scented candles or strong air fresheners that day, checking about pet dander if that's an issue. It's about making that conscious effort to clean up the air, basically, make their home a safe zone.
Yeah, making it a comfortable space. And it's not just avoidance, it's being proactive too. Friends can help head off problems if they notice smoke or strong smells, or if the air just feels heavy or bad outside. That's where those quick actions said and talked about come in. It's like having an extra pair of lungs looking out for you.
Exactly right. Anticipating needs, acting fast to stop symptoms getting worse, that can prevent a ton of anxiety for the person with asthma. Okay, so let's pivot a bit to the emotional support and advocacy side, because this is where friends can be absolute stars, defending your health needs when other people just don't get it. This is so important when someone tries to minimize things, saying stuff like, oh, it's just a little wheeze or you're overreacting.
Ugh, yeah, that kind of comment is the
It
worst.
really is. Asthma is serious. Minimizing it isn't just unhelpful, it can be actively harmful emotionally and physically.
Absolutely. Having someone step in and say, no, this is real, or just validate your experience privately afterwards, that's powerful. It makes you feel less alone, like you have an ally. And it's also about encouraging self-care, but without any judgment. Sometimes managing asthma means doing things others might find odd or inconvenient, like needing to rest or take meds at a certain time or avoid something everyone else is doing. A real friend just supports those choices. No guilt trips.
That non-judgmental support, it reinforces that self-management is important. It empowers the person to prioritize their health without needing to constantly explain or feel bad about it. It helps fight off that internal guilt, that feeling of being a burden. And lastly, just being understanding when asthma is unpredictable. Plans might have to change, things might get canceled last minute. That unpredictability, it's really stressful. You worry about letting people down.
Oh, definitely.
So, having friends who don't get annoyed, who just say, no worries, take care of yourself, or let's reschedule, that is gold.
It really says a lot about the friendship, doesn't it? It shows patience, empathy. It acknowledges health comes first, and they just roll with it. That
Mhm.
takes away so much anxiety. It's a genuine gift. Okay, so if you're listening right now, maybe hearing Siddhant's story and thinking, wow, how can I be that kind of friend? Then this next part is definitely for you. We're going to pull out some really practical steps, some clear do's and don'ts for supporting a friend who has asthma. This is where we go from understanding the impact to learning how to actually make that positive difference.
Exactly. And it really boils down to knowledge and empathy, equipping yourself with good info, and then, crucially, knowing how to apply it thoughtfully in real life.
Right. So first things first, a big do. Educate yourself about asthma. This means getting a handle on common triggers, things like dust, pollen, pet dander, strong smells, smoke, even cold air, and understanding why they cause problems. Like cold air can make airways tighten up. Strong scents often have chemicals that irritate sensitive lungs. It's good to know the basics and also, yeah, get familiar with symptoms and what to do in an emergency.
Understanding the condition is really the foundation for proper support. It
Yeah.
lets you anticipate things, react the right way if something happens, and honestly, it gives your friend huge peace of mind knowing you're clued in and prepared if things go sideways. Building on that, another
Great.
be mindful of their specific triggers. Asthma isn't one size fits all. What bothers one person might be fine for another. So the best thing is to actually ask your friend about their unique triggers and then, consciously try to minimize exposure when you're hanging out.
That shows real personalized care, doesn't it? It goes beyond just general knowledge to respecting their individual situation. Another critical do. Know what to do in an emergency. Get familiar with their action plan if they're comfortable sharing it. Recognize the early warning signs, maybe wheezing, coughing that won't stop, shortness of breath, that tight feeling in the chest. Know how to help them use their rescue inhaler, and, really important, know when it's time to call for emergency help. Having that plan ready in your head is vital.
Being ready for an emergency can literally save a life. And like I said, it offers immense reassurance to your friend. Also, DO support their lifestyle choices. This means encouraging them to stick with their medication plan, find safe ways to exercise that work for them, maybe help them avoid stressful situations if stress is a trigger. If they make specific choices to manage their asthma, just be supportive. Don't question it or make them feel awkward.
Yeah, it's about respecting their efforts to stay healthy, even if it means adjusting plans sometimes. And finally, perhaps the simplest but most important, do. Don't guess what they need. The best way to show respect and make sure your help is actually helpful, just ask them directly. Is there anything I can do to help, or how can I best support you with this?
That simple question is so powerful. It empowers your friend, makes sure the support is right for them on their terms. It really opens up communication.
Okay, now let's flip to the other side, the crucial don'ts. Because sometimes, even when we mean well, we can accidentally make things worse or cause distress. First big one, don't minimize their condition, ever. Saying things like, it's just a little wheezing, or you're making a big deal out of nothing, or you'll be fine. Don't.
Yeah, asthma is serious. It can be life-threatening. Dismissing their symptoms isn't just unempathetic. It can make your friend feel completely invalidated, unsafe, and really alone in what they're going through. It denies their reality. So true. Then, another huge don't. Don't expose them to triggers unnecessarily. This means no smoking near them, obviously. But also, maybe hold off on the strong perfume or cologne when you know you'll be in close quarters. Don't suggest meeting up in places you know are likely to be problematic, super dusty, moldy, smoky, without checking with them first. It takes a bit of thought putting their health first.
Absolutely. This is about active protection, taking steps to create a safe environment instead of making them constantly have to ask or just suffer through it. And please, unless you are actually a doctor or a respiratory therapist, don't offer unproven medical advice. Asthma treatment is really specific to the individual. Giving random advice you read somewhere can be confusing, maybe even dangerous, or just cause extra worry. Definitely stick to being a supportive friend, not an amateur doctor. They have professionals for the treatment plan. Here's a really critical don't. Don't ignore an asthma attack or worsening symptoms. If your friend starts wheezing, coughing nonstop, struggling for breath, don't just stand there or tell them to calm down. Offer help immediately. Remind them about their inhaler. Be ready to call for help if it's not improving or seems serious.
Their well-being in that moment has to be the priority. Your quick, calm response, knowing their plan, that can make a massive difference, both physically and to their sense of security. And finally, don't pressure them into activities that feel unsafe for them. If a hike in freezing weather or going to a bonfire party or visiting a friend with cats isn't going to work for them because of their triggers, respect that. Full stop. Find other ways to spend time together that actually work for everyone's health needs.
And always remember, never assume all asthma is the same. The severity, the triggers, the experience, it varies so much person to person. Listen to their story, their needs, which, kind of raises this important point, doesn't it? About the incredible power of just listening without judgment. Living with asthma, it's tiring, physically, emotionally. It's this constant background task. Sometimes the best thing you can do is just be there. Really listen. Let them know you hear them, you see them, and they're not facing it alone. So what does this all mean for us, really? As we sort of wrap up this deep dive, it feels clear that support for someone managing asthma isn't just from one or two people. It can come from all over.
That's so true. It's not just limited to your absolute best friends or family. Sometimes it's a casual acquaintance who does something thoughtful or just a simple act of kindness from someone unexpected. These moments can become these surprising little pillars of support. The main takeaway maybe is that kindness, empathy, and just trying to understand. It matters way more than we might think when someone's dealing with a chronic health thing like asthma. These small acts weave together the safety net, turning tough days into something more shared.
Yeah, building that circle of care, one thoughtful action, one breath at a time. This Friendship Day, we really hope you'll maybe take a second to think about a friend who's helped you breathe easier, literally or figuratively. Someone who gave you that support, that encouragement, maybe thank them. And if you're looking for a place where people just get it, we really invite you to check out the Asthma Friend community. It's a great online space to share your own story about friendship and asthma, or just read others' experiences and feel less alone. Asthma Friend is all about real experiences, practical tips, and yeah, just creating a bit of breathing room together. Happy Friendship Day from all of us here at Asthma Friend. Until next time, breathe easy, and please remember, you're not alone.
And maybe just one last thought to leave you with. Think about how that steady support, that deep empathy from friends doesn't just help manage the day-to-day of a condition like asthma. How does it fundamentally change someone's whole sense of belonging, their well-being? How does it transform those daily hurdles into a source of shared strength, ultimately allowing someone to feel more connected, more seen, and maybe just freer to live their life more fully?